Completely Pro has been approved for pro wrestling fans by the creators of the Angle Podcast.
Welcome back, everyone, to a brand new edition of the Angle Podcast. As always, I'm your host, Joey Carney, and with me today is a person who personifies the word champion. She's been a part of many firsts in Impact, but the biggest we can add is that she's the first Triple Crown Knockouts champion. Please welcome current Impact Knockouts world champion, Jordynne Grace. How are you? And welcome to the show.
Oh, man, I'm good. I'm a little bit tired. We've been doing this all day, but other than that, I'm good.
I hear you. It's just some of the perks of being champion.
Yeah, it's definitely new for me. Like when I first got the title, right, we got right into the pandemic, so I didn't get to do all the media stuff, but now I've been doing it. I think this is the second time I've done it in the past month, and it's something else.
Yeah, and the last 2 years here have really been like a whirlwind because it all happened without fans being present, becoming Knockouts world champion, then kind of reinventing yourself, gaining tag titles and the first ever digital media champion. What was it like to go through all of that without the fans present? I mean, did it affect like your confidence not having those cheers aside you?
Yeah, 100%. With when the fans weren't there, it was just so much harder to wrestle. Like I didn't really get the full champion experience my first go around. So I'm really happy that I'm finally getting to really feel the energy, I guess you could say.
Yeah. And a big factor that really came into play during the pandemic, and even you see it now, is the power of social media and what it can do for a person's career. It's how performers can really connect with their fans. If you can just a little bit elaborate or describe your relationship with social media and what you learned throughout this time.
So it can be a hit or miss for wrestlers, right? Like you can either have people love you or have people hate you, depending on what you put out there. But one of the main things about social media is I feel like you do have a different connection to fans than wrestlers did in the past. Obviously, social media wasn't really a big thing. I mean, even when wrestlers had MySpace, I don't think they were able to communicate with fans like we do now. Like we're really just a tweet away at this point, and you can talk to all different kinds of celebrities now. And I feel like celebrities respond to their own fans too. So I just feel like there's just more opportunities than ever, not only on like regular social media, but there's also things like, Twitch, Patreon, websites like that are subscription based that are just opportunities for wrestlers to basically make more money and make a living from what we do.
Yeah. And you're honestly, one of the most that I've seen most passionate about what you do, whether it's in or out of the ring, and or even in the gym as well. Where did that passion stem from? I mean, and do you have like fellow wrestlers come to you or peers come to you for advice on whether it's, gym advice or just how you present yourself?
Really, I think the passion just comes from wanting to always be the best and wanting to prove people wrong, because there's been many times in my career where people, fans, other wrestlers, they used to say, you're never going to make it. And they would just say some really hurtful things. And I really just kind of took all that and I wanted to turn it into a positive energy. And I think that that's where the passion comes from.
Yeah. And speaking of the best, you're a part of Impact. You're the Knockouts world champion. And Impact has really become known for giving opportunities specifically to the Knockouts division. And what about this division do you think stands out the most opposed to other companies?
So I think that one of the most recent things that Impact has started to do in the past few years is they've been giving opportunities to the Knockouts that they haven't gotten in the past. So obviously we've had the first ever Ultimate X match, which was insane. They've been doing these matches for 20 years and a woman has never gotten to be a part of one of these matches. And also obviously the Queen of the Mountain match, there was 12 matches before and they all had men in them, and it was our first time too. So I feel like they are giving us more opportunities and trusting us more as time goes on.
Yeah. And over the last couple of years since the pandemic, or even before that, I mean, we've seen Knockouts like Mickie James and Taya Valkyrie and even Mia Yim essentially come home to Impact. Now we're seeing newer stars like Masha and Giselle that are really on the rise there as well. Seeing these new and veteran faces, what do you do, or what does that do for your mind, being that you are the champion of this division?
I just I know I have a lot of competition out there, right? Everybody always wants the belt back, and they're always trying to get better. And I feel like, I mean, the knockouts work harder than, or just as hard as anybody else in the industry. And we really, a lot of the wrestlers here, male and female, we kind of have a chip on our shoulder, and we feel like at Impact we have something to prove.
Yeah, and I think the biggest thing, surrounding Impact is that Impact wants more eyes, regardless of where around the world. They just want more eyes on the product. And I think, and I always say this, especially when I talk to Impact talent like yourself, Impact is probably the most underrated product that's out there today because it's consistent and there's just opportunities being given. And you see people come from other places and they thrive. And I think that's the best way to describe Impact, is just the word thrive. And we're seeing you do that there as well. But we've seen former champion Deonna Purrazzo. She appeared on AEW. She appeared for AAA, and even Mickey going to the WWE Royal Rumble. If you were able to walk through the forbidden door holding that Knockouts world title, is there a person that you would like to face?
So I've answered this question a couple of times today, but I'll I'll start with WWE. So someone that I really think has made an incredible transformation since she first really began wrestling to now is Rhea Ripley. I think it's just been a complete night or day transformation. I really admire her because she went from looking kind of like a Barbie doll to looking like this, just really a bad bitch. She's awesome. I would absolutely love to wrestle her. And then on the flip side, on AEW, I would definitely love to wrestle Jade Cargill. We have trained together in the past, and I know she hasn't been wrestling for very long, but she is hungry and determined to prove that she can go.
Yeah, it's nice to see that there's competition outside of where you are as well. There's competition throughout the world. You know, women's wrestling is thriving. So it's just all around great to see. But at against all odds, you successfully defended the title against former champion Tasha Steelz. And now with the road to Bound for Glory on the horizon, is there some sort of match, maybe a first ever, I'm not sure what's left, that you'd like to be a part of, being that it's Impact's biggest show?
Oh, man, there's just, Impact is a land of opportunities, right? And there are actually a few girls that I've never wrestled before at Impact. I haven't wrestled Giselle, haven't wrestled Mickie James, I haven't wrestled Masha Slamovich. There's a lot of girls that I haven't wrestled, and I would also be totally okay with wrestling a guy there. And obviously the matches that I haven't had with guys there is just absolutely endless. So I mean, I don't have anything specific in mind, but I know that whatever happens, I'm going to make the most of the opportunity.
Yeah, and your Impact Wrestling resume has really developed since the last time that you held the Knockouts world title. Did this victory or this run as champion overall feel different than the first time?
Oh, absolutely, 100%. Like I said, the first time that I held the title, we kind of went straight into the pandemic almost. And I didn't get to defend the title. I didn't get the full champion experience. So I wasn't on these like media tours that we're doing now. I was just sitting at home most of the time. I probably defended it a total of 3 times. Wow. Before I lost it. So I really didn't, it was a very forgetful run. And I want to make sure that this one is memorable.
Yeah. And you just touched on intergender wrestling and the Knockouts division. Like I always, give props to the Knockouts division. Always continues to thrive and be the constant of Impact Wrestling. And like we just spoke about, the inclusion of intergender wrestling has become more available as well. Like you said, yourself even being involved in some of those matches. Is the Impact World title something that you would like to go after? Already being a Triple Crown champion, adding that world title to the resume?
Yeah, absolutely. I've said it before, and I'll say it again, and I'll keep saying it as many times as possible just to put it out there into the universe. But I want to be the very first person in Impact Wrestling to hold all the titles. So I got 3 left to go.
Yeah, and the fans really do adore you. You see it at the shows, you see it on social media, and it's not just what you do in the ring, but like we touched on before, it's how you present yourself outside of the ring. How do you visualize, taking yourself out of it? How do you visualize Jordynne Grace, the wrestler?
The wrestler? I mean, I'm really just a wrestler's wrestler, right? I don't have an over the top character. I really want fans to know that hard work beats really everything. And if you work hard enough and you're persistent enough, like you can achieve your dreams. And I feel like I'm a living proof of that.
Yeah. And, you're not the only world champion in your household. We know that your husband, Jonathan Gresham, is the Ring of Honor world champion. What's that dynamic like? Is there a sense of like ego or in like inspiration, being that you both are world champions?
Oh God, there's definitely no ego involved in it at all. We push each other nonstop to be better. We train together, we diet together. It's just one of those things that if one of us isn't behind it, then it's kind of hard for both of us to be. And we know that the only thing harder than getting to the top is staying at the top. And I think that we both know that. So we're both constantly pushing each other and reminding each other of that.
Of course. And we kind of touched on it before, but Impact, keeps evolving, adding new knockouts to the division. We know that there is a plethora of women out on the independents and I guess the list of non-sign talent. Is there anyone that you can see outside that's available that you love to see come to Impact and challenge you for the Knockouts World title?
Oh, that's available. So this is such a hard question because I feel like AEW signed a lot of people. So, but someone that would be awesome to wrestle is Dakota Kai. I don't think she got her full due at WWE, and I think that Impact would really be a great place for her to go. She has a very unique look, a unique wrestling style, and I feel like the Knockouts division, she kind of personifies that.
Yeah, I think Dakota Kai, I mean, one of the most underrated, I think, that's out there today. That'd be a great choice, to see you guys both square up. But the last question here being, you did tweet out something about opening up an animal rescue with wrestling shows once you retire. I saw that and I thought that was the coolest, like most unheard of idea. What would that be for you? I saw that and I just thought that was something so cool to touch on.
It's obviously just like a pipe dream right now because who knows when I'm going to retire, first of all, and second, there's a lot of logistics that go into this kind of thing, but he's so awesome. I have all kinds of ideas. Someone suggested the name Wrestling with Rescues with a W. And I was like, well, that's gotta be it now. Like, like wrestling shows and fundraising, like an animal shelter or, an animal rescue like that. It would be so cool. Have these, like, I have so many ideas, like these dogs and lucha masks. It would be so.
There's so many different types of promotions coming out today. I mean, this would just be, just something that's it's so out there, but it's so like cool. And would be like, I don't know, one of the most beneficial, I think. So that were to happen.
Wrestling fans, they don't agree on a lot, right? But I feel like most wrestling fans also love animals. So that can be something that brings people together.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. For all the fans listening and watching right now, what can you say to them about what's next for Jordynne Grace?
What's next for me is that I'm going to continue to put my best foot forward, be the face of the Knockouts division. And this new championship run is going to be different than my first one for sure. I'm going to try to have some of the best Knockouts matches that you guys have ever seen.
Awesome. I'm excited for it. I know the fans are too. For everyone listening and watching right now, where can they get more from Jordynne Grace? Where can they follow, subscribe, and do all that fun stuff?
You can follow me pretty much on any social media platform, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all at Jordynne Grace. And Jordynne is spelled, you probably have it up, but it's Jordynne, spelled a little bit differently.
Yeah. Jordynne, it has been an honor and honestly a privilege to have this time with you. I'm sure you hear it a lot, but you're an inspiration to so many, more than I think you know. You're just unapologetically yourself, and that's really hard to achieve in today's world, in today's society. And I'm just really excited to see what you do next as champion, how you push the Knockouts division forward. And again, just thanks for all that you do.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. And for everybody listening and watching right now, I'll have all the information down listed below. Go follow Jordynne, go do all that fun stuff. And if you haven't already, please like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. And before you go, please like, subscribe, and check out more wrestling content right here on the Angle Podcast.